Well, we're coming into my old stomping grounds now. This is the area of Texas I grew up in, Kenedy, Texas, 4 miles ahead. And that was my hometown until I was 18 or 20 years old. Probably not much that I'll remember here. Now, they did have this fiberglass plant here on the left, but it looks like it's not too prosperous now. But this is Highway 181 going north-south, goes all the way to, I believe, Corpus. On the left, you won't be able to see it now, but there used to be an old drive-in theater there on the left, you know, the old drive-in types where you went in and watched the movies. Yep, I remember it well. And then there was Scotty Thompson's bowling alley was here on the right, but now it's Texas Pump Company. And it's changed a lot. It's been a long time since I've been here. I know they've had a little oil boom, may still be going on. They've got a Otto Kaiser hospital, like a county hospital on the left, big facility. And up here on the left, they also have a Walmart, which was not here when I was growing up, none of this. But we'll go right on through town and I'll go by my grandmother's place. I lived there. She was moved out into a rest home. She fell and broke her hip, couldn't get around, so they put her in a rest home. And then we moved into that house when I was like 16 years old, moved from the farm into town, sold the 50 acres around the house out in the country and moved into town. And yeah, it was okay. I didn't think much about living in town really. And but it was a totally new way of life. I mean, everybody was right there. You know, when I was out in the country, you had to actually either walk into town 3 miles, ride a bicycle, or hitch a ride some way. And turn this back straight. But there's not much here. This is mostly agriculture and oil and gas now. It wasn't then. Up here on the right is an old landmark restaurant called Barth's, Barths. And on the left, which won't even be there anymore, was what we call the Creamy, Creemee, and that was the hangout. But there's nothing there now. Regular unleaded is $3.29 a gallon, and I'm not even sure Barth's restaurant is still here. That's a Walmart gas, $3.29 a gallon. And yeah, we'll go right on in through town, go by my grandmother's house. And it's still there. I mean, it used to be a white stucco home, 2-bedroom, had two living areas, 2 living room types, and then a dining room. It was a nice home, wood floors, all that stuff. Yeah, that's where you can't see it, but there was an old shed there, and that's all that's left of the Creamy Barth's restaurant. I forgot to look, but we'll take a left here and go into town, right through downtown Kenedy, Texas. I guess I better stop. Used to be an RV park here on the left, but not when I was growing up. That was built much later. The high school is off to the left. What we used to call the new high school, because they'd had an old one downtown that turned into an elementary school. All this is new, all new. Got a water leak, major water leak looks like. Yeah, it is. I see it running out of the ground. Yeah, it's something that when it gets really dry, the ground gets really hard, and some of these old pipes are under stress and break. What are we waiting for here, guys? I guess I'll go. All right. As far as the housing, there was not much on the left, some on the right. I think there used to be a girl, oh no, my best friend in the first grade used to live right over here on the right somewhere. His name was Bobby Dahl, D-A-H-L. And I called him a friend. I don't even know if we knew what a friend was back then. That's an old welding place there. We used to take equipment to be repaired. Escondido Creek, which means the secret, and they also have a city park now. On the left here used to be a florist. It's gone. The husband, that was kind of a spooky place. The husband hung himself there. Why? I don't know. I guess he just liked to hang himself. He was out hanging around, so to speak. And yeah, this is kind of the old part of town here. Off to the right was where Minnie Stimson lived. I remember that. And Blakeney, I can't remember his name now. Kid, he was the coach's son. He used to live here on the right. Off to the left is the Stewarts and their funeral home and all that stuff. And this used to, on the right here where that restaurant is, that used to be a Texaco station where they actually wore uniforms. You know, the guy, trust the man with a star. You'd pull in there and get gas, and they'd check the air in the tires, water in the radiator, and all the stuff, clean the windshield. Oh yeah, you got a full service deal. And I think gasoline was probably 8 cents, 12 cents a gallon. Yeah. But downtown is to the left. I haven't been there. When I come back, we'll do a little better video. On the left here, there used to be a guy there named Billy Dallas. That was the guy's name, and the husband's name was Dallas Husky. He's a gambler, professional gambler, and they had a swimming pool there, and his wife was a knockout. His son was in the same grade I was, Billy, but he died many years ago. And yeah, the shootout on Main Street was between Dallas Husky, that we had this in the 50s, early 50s, 1950s, and Dallas Husky was playing poker with a guy named Duckett. And anyway, I think Duckett called him a cheater, which he may have been, but he wasn't used to being called that. So anyway, he challenged him, and Duckett went home to get his pistol or whatever he got, and he came back and they met on Main Street near the Friendly Bar, and Dallas Husky shot him and killed him. And that was the end of that fight. Sharon Engel used to live right there in that house. That was my first date on the right. And over here, let's see, I can't remember who lived here. On the left here was the Hammocks. Let's see, Mrs. Gregory lived up here somewhere. One of the teachers. Memory lane, all these memories are flashing into my mind now. And this house on the left here on the corner, this kind of brown looking thing, that was Grandma's house, but they put a metal roof on it, got it all fixed up. But it was painted white. It was a white stucco, old German style home. And yeah, it was, and then when we moved into town, my dad added that apartment there that had 4 bedrooms and a shower. And that was supposed to be like, you know, most parents, particularly the grandmother, you know, wants all her kids to come visit. And anyway, my aunt and uncle used to live right here for a while, not very long. And on and on we go. And what else? There used to be a little league field off to the right there behind those houses on the right. Don't you love this? And JoJo Martin used to live here on the left. I remember that. He dated my sister, Jean, one time. And the white building, or these 2 buildings on the right, back when, that's where the teachers had to live, or if they were single. The married teachers could live in a house, but if they were a single female teacher, they had to live in those houses here. That goes way back. That's the old school. And then down this street on the right, the second house there was where my old girlfriend lived, Dana Berry. That was my first kiss. We mashed lips. I thought it was the most magic thing in the world. I loved it. I mean, we were only in about, I don't know, I was 5th grade or so. We were young. And we would go in the cloakroom You actually call it a cloakroom. It was a separate little area where you hung your coats and stuff. We didn't wear coats much, but this is the school right here. This is the old school. This is where I got my first cloakroom kiss. Sure did. Kept going after more of that. And these were some teachers over here on the right. This way, there's no house there. Ms. Dutton moved her whole house, but that was Ms. Dutton's house. And this is part of the creek, but I don't know what this creek's called. But down this side, this used to be to the left, there used to be a public swimming pool, and they've torn all that up. That's all gone. Used to be a library there too. And but anyway, that's the kind of a fast shot at Kenedy. We're not through yet. We'll let this go a little bit. But yeah, this is the way you kind of go around to Goliad, Texas, and then over to Victoria, Texas, and that's where I'm headed. Off to the left, well, there used to be a oil company place there straight ahead. It's gone. And then the golf hotel was down. No, not golf. They called it something else. And a restaurant was there. And I'm hoping I can remember how to get out of this place. I think I turned left right here. There used to be a gas station here, and it was a good marker to make this turn. Yeah, I'm okay. Because I want to go to Goliad, Texas. This is what we used to call 5 Points or something. And off to the right, there's where the Brown girls live. They ran around with my cousin, Kelly Shaw. Yeah, he was a dancing fool. Boy, the girls used to just love to dance with old Kelly. Straight ahead, there's a Catholic church, and then over there was the old elementary school, and the primary school, the first school I went to, is off to the right, down in a hole over there. All those old buildings are gone. Time changes. You know, Henry, what was his name? Something Wolf said you could never go home again. Boy, if that ain't true. We got 33 miles to Goliad, and then 25. We got an hour to get to the campground in Victoria, and so we're no problem. I wanted to get there before beer 30. I'll make it. And yeah, this is what you call this hill we're going up here. This was Ruman Hill. Off to the right was one of the wealthiest families, if not the wealthiest family in town. They lived up on this hill overlooking the whole city, like landlords. You know what I mean? And they ran the bank and about everything else. Them, the Rumans, the Nichols. I'm not sure about the Chestnuts so much, but yeah, all my parents are buried up on a cemetery off to the right here, about a mile or so. And they actually have a loop around Kenedy now, and I'm coming into it now, and I got to kind of see what's happening behind me here. But now we're out of Kenedy pretty much. This guy's gonna let me go. Yeah. And up here on the left was the old auction barn. That's when I was a kid. I had some hogs. That's where they took them after the show and sold them. I didn't know they did that. I came back to get my hogs and they were gone. They were like pets. Well, in fact, they were pets to me. You know, I could call them by name and here they'd come. You know, like that pig noise. Wasn't bad. And anyway, that's it. I mean, it's certainly a lot of changes. Old man Moses used to live over here on the left. He was a good friend of my dad's. He had a big ranch there, farm thing. And they used to swap equipment every now and then. So we go off to the right here. We stay on this 239. Yeah, I still remember some of these old roads. And we go through a little town further up here called Choate. And there used to be a place on the San Antonio River near there that we used to go hang out in. See, there's a sign that says Charco. Oh, that's right, Charco. I'm sorry. No, that's not right, is it? Charco. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Charco. That doesn't sound right. Be that as it may, it was up here, little town, near the San Antonio River. And I think there was a place there called Baker's Park. but it wasn't really a park. It was just a place to go swimming and stuff. And we did. And yeah, it was. This was wasn't much. You may not have thought it, but there was a lot going on with us kids. Now, the older people are 20s, 30s, in that range. They probably were bored to death. But us 9, 10, 12, 15-year-old guys and girls too. Yeah, we were busier than mice. We were just enjoying the hell out of life like kids do. Ingrid Bohl used to live over there on the right, but their house is gone. Her last name is B-O-H-L, Bohl. She may still be alive. Annalie Johnson's still alive. I can't remember any others. Well, I haven't been to a reunion. They had one here a few years ago. I didn't go. There's an RV park off to the right. There used to be a girl that lived down this road. I won't mention her name, but she bloomed early, so to speak. and she used to come around to high school and pick up the attendance slips, because all the teachers, they call the roll and then fill in the attendance slip for who was absent. And so anyway, when she came by to pick up the attendance slip, you can rest assured old Rusty's eyes were on her. Oh, the memory lane, walking down memory lane. Anyway, guys, I won't bore you anymore with this, but yeah, more to come. I'm going to another old stomping ground. I lived for about 15 years, Victoria, but I was much older then. Let's see, I left Victoria when I was 40, I think. Probably 45, I think around 1990. But anyway, guys, out here on the road again in my Class B motorhome. This is me saying thumbs up, carpe diem, enjoy your life, because by golly, things are going by quick. Off here to the left used to be the Quinnick's house. Jimmy Quinnick, he may still live there. House looks the same to me. Hello, Jimmy. Yep. But anyway, guys, keep your health. Walking down memory lane here. Adios. Bye-bye. Use the Amazon link if you want to. Bye.